Okay. Dobar dan, dobar dan, dobar dan. Dobar dan, hvala svima što ste došli na večerašnji stand-up program. Hvala vam što ste se svi pojavili u ovako velikom broju. Vidim ovdje jako vesele ljude. Ajmo sada svi, ko je za Batmana, neka digne lijevu ruku gore. Isuse, ovo je baš cringy počelo. So guys, we have some people that aren't speaking English today, so Croatian, that are only speaking English, so I'll have to speak in English here. So apparently this has turned into an international event, so it's even bigger and better. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So if you like Batman, raise your left hand into the... Sorry, yeah, it's a bad joke. It's a bad joke. Yeah, so thank you for coming. My name is Albert. I'm the CEO of CircuitMess, and I will be telling you a bit about our latest and greatest project called CircuitMess Batmobile. But first, let me tell you about my Spider-Man origin story. So it all started back when I was like 11 years old. I was building electronic devices like this, and I really, enjoyed building it. It started, with these messy wires and thingies, and after a while, I built this thing, and this is actually what kickstarted the company. You might remember it. Number one, Albert fans will probably know about it. It's called Maker Bueno. It's this game console from 2017 that actually started the whole company. And at first, it actually looked like this. I built this when I was at my primary grade at high school, and it was, not really pretty. And I was just building it because I was having so much fun. I was building electronics. They actually worked. It was such a fun activity to do. And I was never imagining that it could actually be some kind of a business. So fast forward a couple of years, I actually made it look a bit prettier like this. So I decided to try and start taking it to fairs and showing it to people. So I designed this thing. This is my first poster. I did this in postermaker.com, and I wrote some things about the device, like it's retro, it's wow, it's cool, custom casings and stuff like that. All the things as you can see that I thought people would like. And I started taking it to fairs like this. This is like the first major one. As you can see, I was quite funky. And my career was kicked off by this. So this was the first news article, and this was posted by the best newspapers in the whole county of Karlovac, Karlovački tjednik. The locals will probably get the joke. And the title says, Karlovčani predstavili svoj projekt, which means people from Karlovac showed their project. The fun thing is that I'm the only one from Karlovac here. The left one is the French guy, and the right one is a Finnish guy, but it doesn't really matter. So apparently this guy approached me. So his name is Tomislav Care. He's driving a Porsche and has lots of money, and he approached me because he's from Karlovac. And he also reads the best newspapers in Karlovac, Karlovački tjednik. He said like, hey man, can we do something together? This is really interesting, yo, and like, let's do something together. So he basically became some kind of an investor and mentor, and we decided to make a Kickstarter for this project, Maker Bueno. So in 2017, we launched a Kickstarter for Maker Bueno, and it like smashes its goal. It raised like $100,000. I was still in high school, and that was a lot of money, for an 18-year-old kid like me. But what was more important is that people from like US and UK and Germany were supporting us. In other words, they weren't some complete strangers. They were actually random people that found some value in this product. So I basically decided to drop out of college and pursue my entrepreneurship dreams. I would refer to it as going straight to the professionals, and I founded CircuitMess. So CircuitMess is this company that actually stemmed from this project, and the name comes from two words: the word circuit, because we do electronic circuits, and the word mess, because the whole company is in a mess. Ask any of the employees and you'll see. So, CircuitMess, we designed this product in 2018, which is called the Maker Phone. really creative, I know, and it's a do-it-yourself mobile phone this time. It's even more successful, and after that, like last year, we designed this thing, which is called the CircuitMess STEM box, which is basically a subscription service where you subscribe and you get a new project every 3 months, and we designed a whole bunch of, electronics like a voice assistant, a DJ mix table, an autonomous car, a new game console, walkie-talkies and stuff like that, And a bit about the company. So the problem that we're actually solving, and that is present here, is that there's a huge lack of people for STEM jobs. STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So all of these fancy jobs, And the thing is, there's already a huge amount of vacant STEM jobs, and in the future, even more vacant STEM jobs will appear. Even like 2 million by 2025, which I don't know how they actually calculated, but they're scientists, so they probably are true. And the issue is that more than 90% of boys and girls don't think STEM is cool and something that's worth their time if they are not engaged in any way before the 5th grade. And there's a huge issue with this, because if you Google what are the most popular jobs among children these days, it's influencers, TikTokers, travel bloggers and stuff like that, which is all fine, But the thing is that anything related to STEM is very bottom of the list, and that's going to make a huge issue, because all of us, the whole civilization is really reliant on technology, and we need to create new STEM people if we want to prosper. So yeah, so the way I see this is the STEM education is still not there. The thing is, if you go to any kind of a store, you try to buy a STEM kit, you find a bunch of robots and stuff like that. It's not really creative. Everyone is trying, all the governments are trying to do something and to encourage children to learn STEM, but they are still somehow failing. And quite frankly, if you take a look at this comparison, so at the left side I put Fortnite. It's this game that kids play these days, the one where you dance and kill people and stuff. And the right one is some kind of an educational toy that I found on AliExpress. So this is actually being sold. It's not something that I just invented. And if you go to a store and you want to buy a present for your child, you will either find really cool toys like Fortnite, or some kind of a flaming action man with I don't know, boomerangs and guns, which is not educational, or a very boring educational toy. There's nothing in the middle. Parents lack true options, and this is what we are actually trying to fix. We design electronic devices, toys mainly, that are made to actually make children learn in a fun way. We pay this kid to scream. So imagine, for example, imagine if you were 10 years old, and we showed this to you. We tell you that you can build your own game console, your own mobile phone, your own DJ mix table, your own, Batmobile and stuff like that. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying, to think of ourselves as if we were 10 years old, and what would be cool to younger versions of us. We don't want to make some, sterile, bland, unimaginative electronic devices that are just going to be a learning tool that nobody's going to like. And it actually works. So these are our reviews. People write us love letters, as you can see. Lots of satisfied customers. We have shipped more than, so this is an old number, we have shipped more than 51,000 boxes so far, so quite a lot of them. And people actually like this. People like what we are doing. So a bit about the company. We actually make money in 2 ways. We sell stuff in our web shop, and we have this subscription thingy where you subscribe and get a new box every 3 months. And the market, for these kind of things, it's really big. There's quite a lot of children in the world, 2.2 billion, but only if we take the US and the European Union, it's 140 million children, so quite a lot. And this whole market is growing really fast, but I won't bore you with any of these things. I actually invited all of you today to present our latest project to you, as I said, which is called CircuitMess Batmobile. As you can imagine, this is a car shaped like, the Batmobile, so nothing much about it. So it looks like this, and it's basically an RC car. But it's just not, any RC car. It's really cool because it has this camera, and it can actually drive around autonomously. Also lights up. And with this controller, you can actually see what the camera sees, but you can also see what the processor is doing. Like, it's going to show you the way computer vision algorithms work and stuff like that. Yeah, and the most important thing about it is that it runs on AI and machine learning, and this kit was actually designed to teach the engineers of tomorrow. We want to get children into machine learning, into autonomous vehicles, into coding, because we think this is something that's going to be really, really important in the future. So the main catch of the device is that it comes disassembled like this, like Legos. You get a box and you need to assemble it. And while building the device, you learn about electronics, about coding, about programming, about microcomputers. And after you assemble it, you can actually connect it to your PC and you can code some, custom apps for it. We're designing an app that's actually used for coding the device. Yeah, it looks like this. You just need 7 seconds to assemble it, as you can see, really fast. And it has a bunch of other electronics like computer vision, object tracking, machine learning, microcomputers, whole bunch of stuff. So that's the whole deal. Yeah, and the main thing about this product is that it's actually fun. So we try to create something that's going to be not only educational, but also really appealing to children. That's why we signed a deal with Warner Brothers. That's why we decided to create this thing, because we think that connecting it with a very popular comic book / movie superhero is going to help us bring STEM to even more children. Yeah, it also has a box. Yeah, so for all of you smarty pants out there, here's a boring slide. It has a bunch of electronics, processors, USB-C, lots of LEDs and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of electronics. It's basically the most complex product that we have ever done, and children are happy as well. We pay this one as well. But what I actually wanted to talk about here is the development process and everything that we had to do to actually make this product happen. So this GIF, it's really interesting because this is basically a year and a half of development put into a single GIF, lots of frames. And when you see a product, you don't really think about all the things that are needed to make this product happen. But then, it's very complex. Like a year and a half is nothing in the world of product development. We had to do like software, we had to do hardware, we had to do design work, we had to navigate with Warner Brothers, and a whole bunch of stuff. But the most important thing here is that I'm not doing this myself anymore. I have a company of 23 people right now. We have a new office. We have lots of machines. This one is working over there as well. And we have a bunch of people that are helping me build products like these, because I figured out that I really cannot build big projects if I'm going to do it by myself. Yeah, so people. So yeah, there's a bunch of people here, and I actually invited them here because usually I do all the talking, but now I'm going to make them stress out and tell something about what they do. So this is our dream team, just some of the people here. As you can see, we have Tomislav. This is the one with the funny hat. So he's just, trying to mentor us and complain and stuff like that. We have Doris, who is the head of sales and marketing. She did all the negotiations with Warner Brothers. We have Philip, who is a lead software developer. He's going to tell you something about what he does. We have Thea, who is producing all of the devices, because someone needs to actually pack and ship the boxes to the people. People usually forget about us. And we have Eric, who is designing the hardware, so he'll also tell us something about that. Thank you, everyone. I would like to invite my first guest to the stage. It's Doris Brala. Please clap your hands. Doris, thank you for joining my podcast.
Thank you for making me do this.
Yeah, I think your microphone is not working,
Yeah.
but Režija, molim vas mikrofon.
Am I loud enough? I'm from Lika, so should be fine.
Is it working now? Okay, awesome.
Okay.
So, Doris, thank you for coming and thank you
for inviting me.
for working for CircuitMess. So, can you please, introduce yourself and tell all the people here about what you do and like how is it working like at CircuitMess and not sleeping
All
and stuff
of the
like
other
that.
things that you made us say and
Yeah.
So my name is Doris. I'm head of business development here in CircuitMess. I've joined CircuitMess at the end of 2019, somewhere in December. I actually came as a sales representative to work with distributors because at that point CircuitMess was mainly working with small and medium distributors, so this was supposed to be my role. But as we all know, in January of 2020, everything changed. So this is something that was very, very interesting. You can actually switch to the next slide.
Yeah, sure.
Because the position that I was supposed to come in and work with distributors in February of that year completely changed. So we actually had to switch our whole business model and switch to working on our website and our own performance marketing instead of just working with distributors because of the whole coronavirus situation. So this was something very, very exciting. But as all of you can see, we managed to do well. And
So
one of the
this thing about Doris, so this is how I measure her work. So this is revenue, and that's the only thing I see when I talk with Doris, and the only thing I value.
This is my profile picture on Slack. So.
Yeah, that's right, and also a cover on LinkedIn. So Doris, what is this?
Yeah, so this is actually how you can see how our revenue grew through months and years, and you can actually see here at the beginning of 2020 how this looked, where we all were really surprised with the whole situation, and we were just trying to figure out what were we gonna do, and we were trying to switch to our website and our own marketing. The team from Infinum, Mirna, and her crew really helped us out here. And we managed to put our web shop and performance marketing up and running. So this is something that we are really proud of. And also in April of this year, we also have new 2 team members in our sales and marketing department who are helping us grow this curve. So thank you, Michal and Dorotea, for helping me here with everything. But actually what I wanted to talk about was when I joined CircuitMess in December, actually Albert started talking with me about this whole idea of making a licensed product from the beginning. So we actually wanted to make something really cool and unique and not, just to slap a sticker of some brand on a product, but actually develop something really unique and cool and not something that is just, a moment, popular in this moment, but something that is an all-time classic and appeals to a lot of people. And all of us here at CircuitMess being big Batman fans, Batmobile was kind of a logical choice, but the issue here was how to actually get the license.
Yeah, how do we do that? Yeah, how do you approach Warner Brothers?
Well, we actually had no idea how to do that.
You just email hello at Warner Brothers and that's
yeah,
it.
so we didn't know how licensing works, that there are agencies and departments that do that. We did a lot of LinkedIn search. We found Anna Vlahovic here, thank you.
If Anna Vlahovic is here, please raise your hand. Oh, here she is, yeah. Thank you, Anna.
Who was actually really great when we approached her, and she was actually crazy enough to support us in our dream and believe in us that we can actually make this really unique product, and actually helped us negotiate this whole thing with Warner Brothers and actually get a global contract, which is something that is really unique for this region and very rare. So
yeah, I think on the next slide I have this thing. So this is our first pitch to Warner Brothers. As you can see, this looks like some kind of a bat mouse.
This was what we were
something.
supposed to send to hello@warnerbrothers.com.
Yeah. So at first, I thought, there was no way we're going to do something with Warner Brothers, but like, let's try it. I'm not going to go down without trying. So Doris actually came up with this pitch and designed this with our designer, and that's what we sent to them. And on I was really surprised to see that people inside Warner were really happy about this, and all the people that we were talking with, they were rooting for us, and I think we probably wouldn't have this product here if they weren't, privately, really happy about it. Yeah. So Doris, what happened next? We designed the product, I
so
guess.
a lot of negotiations happened. This whole thing actually kicked off last summer during our launch of the STEMbox campaign. So this was all happening in the background, all of the back and forth with Warner and trying to actually explain why we need a global license, who are we? We are, a 4-year company trying to do, a brand deal with the big and mighty Warner Bros. And actually make such a unique and complex product and try to convince them that they should give us a chance to do it.
Yeah, we were so small and insignificant. I thought we had no chance at all, but it turns out, they really like our work. And, it was really funny because in 2020 we started doing the deal and, the COVID and everything, so we couldn't travel. So, still to this date, I haven't met most of the people that I work with on this product, because they are from abroad and everything. But, I'm glad that business has evolved, and we could do it all by Zoom. So what is this thing over here on the slide?
Yeah, so luckily we switched from the first design that you saw on the previous slide. But after that, we had to, decide on what kind of design we are going to go with our Batmobile, and this is something that we used as a reference for CircuitMess Batmobile. It was a very long and complex process because we had a lot of materials from Warner, but this particular model of the Batmobile actually didn't have a 3D model, so we actually had to do.
Yeah, they didn't give us anything. Yeah, we had to do everything by ourselves. Just a couple of photos and stuff. Yeah, just kidding. But we wanted to do something really unique, so we based it on this one and also on another one that I think is from the comics, because we wanted to create a unique design that's going to not be connected with any movie of sorts. Like we didn't want people to call it like the Nolan Mobile. We wanted to call it the Batmobile, so that's why we went with something like that.
We wanted to be CircuitMess Batmobile.
CircuitMess Batmobile. Yeah, that's right. Wanted to make something unique. Yeah. And this whole process, I think on the next page we have a render. So this whole process, it was really tricky because we had to connect, our brand with what Warner has and create something that's going to be really unique, but also satisfactory for both sides at the end, and not violate any rules. Like we wanted to paint it green at first, but they didn't let us for some reason. So Doris, anything else do you want to say? What's this? What happened next?
So this is the final render that was actually approved, and we were actually, after that, we started doing the prototyping and the production of the prototypes that you can actually see here today. And yeah, what else? Yeah,
Doris is really humble, but yeah, it took lots of work, lots of stuff to actually make this happen. And yeah, okay. So Doris, thank you for coming to my podcast. This was a really nice episode. Please clap your hands for Doris. And thank you, Doris. You did great. So next guest that that's coming next is called Eric Rudets, and he is our lead hardware developer. A big clap for Mr. Eric here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Albert. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for coming to my podcast. Such a great occasion to see you here, man. I really love working with you, especially when you don't ask anything in the office. So, Eric, what do you do at CircuitMess?
So, my name is Eric. I work as a lead hardware developer at CircuitMess, and basically I design the hardware, both the electrical part and mechanical part of all of our products, as well as some parts of our packaging, production processes, test jigs, and stuff like that.
So everything, as you can see, yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So Eric, what is this on the slide here? I mean, you sent me the picture. I don't know what it is.
So this is, well, most of our products so far. I designed all of them except Yeah, except the ones that we haven't designed till the end. So, but we will, probably.
Yeah. Awesome. So let me see what's on the next slide. Oh yeah. So
Yeah, this is. So Albert made me say some bad things about him and his design of previous products. So this is a PCB of Makerphone or Ringo, however you want to call it. And yeah, as you can see, it's pretty convoluted. That routing isn't that great. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, this is even worse. This is Maker Bueno, but I'm gonna give some credit to him. He designed it when he was really young, and basically that's what started CircuitMess. So this is wheels on PCB. As you can see, it's a bit tidier. It's not great, but it's not terrible, I guess. I made it. This is JD. It's even a bit better than Wilson. As you can see, there's a lot of components, a lot of traces. There was many hours put into that, and it wasn't an easy thing to do.
yeah. So basically, what Eric does in CircuitMess, he plays with this fancy connect the dot program to design these kinds of things. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Eric is very humble. What he wanted to say is that at CircuitMess, I started doing everything myself. I was doing everything like packing boxes, admin, finance, sales, marketing, routing, electronics, software, and I figured out that I can't do everything myself, and that I am not good at everything that I do. So I started employing people and giving them parts of my work, employing people that are going to be better than me. So and like Makerblin and Ringo, I designed those, but currently I don't design PCBs anymore because Eric does it better. So that's basically how CircuitMess works.
And by the way, there's much less returns on new products that I designed.
Yeah, so his products are not as effective as mine. So yeah. So this
yes, this is our current Batmobile Pcb. It's not as detailed as some of the previous slides, but yeah, it's a render of the PCB.
So the PCB, it actually stands for printed circuit board. Is this motherboard that actually makes sense? Actually makes sense of all of the components. It connects them together and makes it work as a whole. And that's the base of every single one of our products and every electronic product in general. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add for the people who don't know what they're looking at. As Albert said, this is a printed circuit board, and this is an unpopulated circuit board. So basically, every one of those golden squares is where a single pin connects to something else. Yeah, this is the whole, well, parts of the Batmobile development process. As you can see, we had to model our own casing, and it's a much more complex product than any of our previous products, as it's not just cut acrylic. It has to be injection molded. There's a lot of small parts, a lot of different parts, and everything has to be made in a way so it all fits together and doesn't break easily like,
so Batmobile
our current prototype. But yeah, we'll fix that. Probably.
Yeah, so Batmobile, it was our most complex product so far. So we had to do and figure out lots of things like complex 3D modeling, 3D printing, stuff like that. So but Eric handles that. So it's just no worries. Yeah. So thank you, Eric, for coming to my podcast. Is there anything else that you want to say to the crowd?
No, but thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. You got it, man. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Eric. You can go back to drawing PCBs now. Go away. So for our next guest, last but not the least, we have a huge surprise in a small man, Filip Budisha, our lead software developer.
Hello, Albert. Thank you for having me here today.
Hi, Budisha. Hi. I really enjoy, making fun of your height. That's basically what I do at work every day. Yeah. So thank you, Philip, for coming here. So what's your role at CircuitMess?
Yeah, so I'm the lead software developer here at CircuitMess, and what it means, I design all the architecture for all our software projects, and I oversee the development process of all the development projects, software development projects. Yeah.
Thank you. So what's the thing at the slide? So
Yeah, so this is CircleBox, and I actually wanted to start my part of the talk with how I got this job, actually. So at that point of time, I had some 6 years of professional web development experience, and frankly, I was sick and tired of it. I wanted to get away from web as much as possible. So I was looking for jobs, and I see Albert's job offering for an embedded junior software developer, and the company seemed great, doing fun stuff, doesn't take itself too seriously, and most importantly, it's not a web job. So I send my CV, I talk to Albert, and I get the job. Great. First day at the job, I sit down with Albert to talk about what I will work on, and I remember this sentence very clearly. Albert said to me, "Philip, I hired you for this project because you have so much experience with web development." So yeah, that was a fun thing, but we made a deal. This is going to be the project I'll be working on, and after that I'll go on to to embedded development. But yeah, this is the project I was talking about. This is CircuitBlocks, and this is a Scratch-like development environment intended to help newbies and non-programmers get into embedded development. So as you can see, I don't know. Some of you probably heard of Scratch. The idea is that you pull Lego-like blocks into the canvas, connect them, and on the left side here, and it generates working C++ Arduino code on the right that you can see here. Of course, there are blocks for the basic blocks for programming, ifs, for loops, and so on and so forth, but also for each product, each of our devices, there are special blocks for special functions, like for the, for example, for the Batmobile, there will be special blocks for driving the car around, turning on the LEDs, and of course, computer vision blocks.
yeah, so basically, this is a software that we designed where we wanted to make coding easy. We wanted to give these colorful blocks to the children, but we also wanted to make some kind of a bridge between this and the real coding, which is on the right side of the screen. That's why it opens up with this right side of the screen. So the code window open, and it actually shows the children what this is going to look like if you are an actual programmer. So yeah.
Yeah, the basic idea was to connect blocks, generate code, and hopefully go on to actual programming using the code that the users program with blocks.
Yeah. So we have some pictures here.
Yeah, this is so after we were done with CircuitBlocks, of course, I went on to the actual embedded development part of the programming of the deal. And these are some of the products that I have worked on since then. So the first project, so to say, that I came on was after the CircuitMess Ringo was done, and up until that point, the only programmer in the company was Albert's younger brother, who was 16 at the time, who programmed the Ringo. And the software for the Ringo, the whole firmware, was a single, humongous CPP file of 15,000 lines.
Yeah, Philip, he was 16. I'm like, come on, man.
All right. Credit's due. The software works great. A bit convoluted, but it works. That's the main point. But yeah, that's when we started to actually implement some software development processes, methodologies. So we actually have a process when developing software. So first we all meet up and discuss what each product will contain, what features it will have, what it can do, what it can't do, and we have a dialogue between what we want to have and how complicated it is to implement such stuff. So then we come to an agreement what the product will have. Then I sit down and work on the design of the architecture. So that's all the components all the software components that will exist in the system, all the parts and all the functions and so on and so forth. Then we split it up into tasks and start working on it.
Yeah.
So let me have Spencer. our AI voice assistant. In the middle we have Wilson, the autonomous self-driving car, and on the right the JD, the do-it-yourself DJ platform. And our Batmobile is actually the culmination of all the skills and knowledge we got while developing these projects. So during development on Spencer, I'd probably say the hardest part to do, to implement, to work on, was the Wi-Fi connectivity on such a low-powered embedded device. So we had a lot of trouble. I still remember the crunches at 3 in the morning when we tried to figure out why the Wi-Fi connection was failing, but...
yeah, come work at CircuitMess if you want to work at 3 a.m. and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's a good commercial.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It really puts life into perspective.
Philip, sorry for interrupting you. I have lots of slides here and, you know, people that are hungry and everything, so...
All right, I'll speed up. So, yeah, we got Wi-Fi connectivity from Spencer, the self-driving and computer vision and machine learning from Wilson, and the sound reproduction from JD.
Well said.
Yeah, so, all right, I'd probably say, well, since this is a car and Wilson is also a car, that's where most of the experience and skills that we got got put into Batmobile. So we implemented some computer vision programs. We actually got OpenCV to run on the ESP32, which is like, we have half a megabyte of RAM and 240 megahertz of clock speed, so that's like nothing compared to what OpenCV is intended to run on. So we implemented that, and actually every user that has a Wilson can, when programming inside circuit blocks or by hand, can actually use this OpenCV function. So all the functionality of OpenCV is can be run on the Batmobile in the future when it gets released, and already on Wilson.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Philip. So I'll think, can we wrap it up here and move on? Is there anything else that you want to say?
No, not really. I just wanted to thank the whole crew. I wanted to thank our investor, our buyers and users, and friends of the company. I wanted to thank our production team for producing and packaging all our products, and Thea for managing it all. God bless. I wanted to thank our administration and sales team and Doris for making deals and selling more products that we can develop and make. And I also wanted to thank Albert for putting together such a crew of like-minded people. And that's all my thanks.
And I want to thank you, Philip, for being the best lead developer at CircuitMess that we have.
Thank you,
also,
Albert.
the single one. Yeah. So thank you, guys. A big applause for Philip. Thank you, Philip. It was great having you. So as you can see, you've made it, folks. This is the part where we just, congratulate each other here at CircuitMess. And I'm going to show just a couple of more slides. So we're actually launching a Kickstarter for CircuitMess Batmobile, but we had many Kickstarters before. As I said, it all started with a Kickstarter campaign for Maker Bueno, then it was Ringo, and then it's the STEM box. With the Batmobile, we want to surpass our record of $466,000 raised and make the biggest and greatest Kickstarter so far. Yeah, so CircuitMess Batmobile, it's live on Kickstarter and you guys can back it. But before I go to this part, I wanted to invite our main lead and also the only investor that we have, Tomislav Car, the guy that drives Porsche, has a big software agency and lots of money. Tomislav, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Albert, where's my money?
Yeah, it's in good hands, don't worry. Yeah. We bought drinks with it and stuff, yeah, like for the event, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks. I think this is a great thing, and I'm very proud that, there's a company that's like a couple of years old that's doing something like this, like with a big brand like Warner Brothers, because that's the enormous trust you need to get to run something like this. So, and the numbers are not correct. I think it's up to 66 now.
Yeah, this is just a screenshot. I
How
didn't
much
know
is
how
it?
to.
66.
Yeah, a lot of money, but the license was expensive, so.
Yeah. So what do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make any bets, but comparing it to the last campaign, so on the last one, which was the biggest one, we did like $32,000 in the first 24 hours. Now we have like more than double of that in just half a day. So it's going to be big. At least I hope so. Or you won't get your money back. So yeah. So Tomislav, how is it working with CircuitMess?
So I mean, I mostly work with Albert, and my role. Well, I mean, if we compare this to Batman, I always thought like Albert is the Batman and I'm gonna be the Robin. In reality, I think it works out that I'm the Alfred, the butler. I think that's kind of the way I see my job. And basically, I try to help out Albert in like. So I've been doing like entrepreneurship for 16 years, something like that. And I try to help him out with all this stuff that I've kind of learned along the way, which could be related to either managing, building teams, finance, strategy, stuff like that. So that's kind of my role in the whole process, I would say. And then the other thing is I have like zero. When we got into this whole story, I got zero experience in hardware, electronics, education, and even like general consumer market. So for me, this has like been such a great learning experience, and crowdfunding, obviously, because right now I think the team that works at CircuitMess is the best team in the whole region that can do a crowdfunding campaign. So the sheer amount of knowledge and expertise to run a crowdfunding campaign is off the charts right now. So this is kind of what my experience.
Yeah,
I mean, you're terrible, but
it's
yes.
yeah, and it's a shame because Kickstarter isn't really supported in Croatia natively. So I suppose we would probably have many more amazing Kickstarter projects, but they just don't support this. So companies have to do many workarounds and stuff like that. So Kickstarter, come to Croatia. But yeah, we are really good at Kickstarter. So is there anything else that you want to say before I move on? I have like just 30 slides left. Then we are free to go.
Awesome. No, that's it. Thanks everybody for coming and for supporting what these people are doing, and let's make this the best campaign ever.
Thank you, Tomislav, for your money. I'll see you for the next investment round. And if anyone else here in the audience has some money, please drop me a line, and we'll take it. So let me see what I have next here. Oh no, that's the last slide. So yeah, so thank you guys for coming. As I said, we have a Kickstarter campaign running. I would kindly ask all of you to give us a really small share on the social media. That really helps us a lot with the company. Also, like you get free booze, so it's fine to just give a single share in a return. And also one more thing, like if you have the time, please back this project with a single dollar, because every single dollar actually helps us rank higher in Kickstarter's trending category. So this is the way it works. It actually counts people, not the money that you pledge. So don't tell them, but you will all just place $1, but it's going to be like 150 people, and we're going to be on top of the page. So thank you guys. We have some kind of free booze and like food at the bottom floor. So I would kindly ask all of you to move down there. We have a Batman cosplayer that you will be able to take a photo with. He can scan your COVID pass again if you want, and also we will have a photo booth, that prints pictures. And also, if you have supported the campaign, you can report to Michael and Dorotea. Please, where are those guys? So, yeah, raise your hands. You can report to them. They will give you a free Batman mask if you have pledged $500 or more. So, thank you guys for coming, and yeah, thank you. A big applause for the CircuitMess team and everything. Thank you. Whew. Yeah, so that's it. Let's go.